Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Monday, April 1st, and this is a quick hit on the indexes. Starting off with the Dow. So, the Dow, very minor in every aspect. Down and up, and making a new recent high today, 14,600. Something that we were kicking around way back. But anyways, able to kiss it today, backed off, went down, backed off, ending with a spinning top of a possible range, and they were able to save it from having a downtick today. That would have been awesomely incredible had that been able to transpire, but no, they saved it. Down 5.5 points, essentially nothing. And what do we have? Well, we have what would appear to be some type of a topping general vicinity, which we've been hanging on to this last week and a half, 2 weeks, and it continues today. 14-day RSI moving average is still in ascent. The stochastics are holding high, the CCI is holding high, the RSI is still in descent, along with the MACD and the MACD histogram today ticking down after ticking back up on Friday. So, kind of a mixed bag, but really not too bad. We certainly don't have a clear signal on the Dow at this moment. It certainly is being the single strongest index by far. And when this one cracks, it should be all over but the crying, but do we have the signal? No. It would be great if it went up a little bit more. And in the short term, I think that is what will occur. We can see the open today shot way up, it backed off, it fought around all day long. Here in the 60-minute time frame, we can see that the 14-day is still moving on up. It has plenty of room to move. The stochastics are below it and turning around to go back to the upside, along with the CCI, the RSI, the MACD histogram, and the MACD itself. This one looks really good in the 60-minute time frame for some upside. Absolutely. And that is what I would like to see. And hopefully that will occur. We can get the 60-minute all squared away, button up the daily time frame, and then proceed lower. That's what I am looking for. Going on to SPX, and this one is different than the Dow in a decent fashion. Down 7 points. The Dow did not follow this sucker all day long. It was very stubborn, and there was times that the sucker was down 7 points, 10 points, etc., and the Dow just totally lagging to the downside. Maybe should have caught that as a warning sign that it was going to go back up, but didn't really put that together. We did get a downtick today on SPX. It did not resolve itself. To resolve itself would have taken it down to just above 1555, and that's what I was looking for before a bounce, but it didn't get that far. We do have a lower close than yesterday, so that's something, but we do also have a new recent high as of today. We have 2 points from the low of today to finish a bubble corrective move here. Do I think we'll get it? Well, we have some different signals here. MACD histogram ticking down, RSI down, CCI down, stochastics mixed high, and the 14-day RSI moving average leveling out, ending its ascent higher. I would like to see this one continue to move up just a little bit more, but it is much more iffy than the Dow. Going on to the 60-minute to see if there's any real difference here. I mean, we know that it had a rougher time on the daily, obviously. But what do we have? Well, we have MACD histogram, RSI, CCI, stochastics low, 14-day RSI moving average, all curling up, and a small blip in the heat map. This one looks primed in the 60-minute time frame to go back up. I mean, we have a new recent high that should be at least attempted to equal or exceed. There should be an attempt. Whether or not it gets there, anybody's guess, but there should be an attempt. And this is definitely lined up for that attempt. Going on to the VIX. This one, such a little pain today. At one point, the VIX was up more than 10%. It ended just slightly lower than 7% on a closing basis. And it doesn't look healthy now, does it? I mean, it has a couple of things going for it. For one, it exceeded a previous high. Of course, it's the most minor one available. But the candle's not healthy. It's a inverse hammer. Could you call this the top of a possible range? I don't think so. Ended inside of the long-term moving average bar, which it had gapped into. That is also not a good sign. We still have descending highs here, and the break of this minor one here doesn't say too much. I mean, we would really need to get this one out of the way, just above 14.5, to make a real difference. But at the moment, it doesn't look that promising. Indicator-wise, burning off a lot of the bottoming area that we had on Friday. Trying to move up on most everything, which is decent. The 14-day RSI moving average has stalled and is going sideways after its descent. So there are a few good signs here for further upside. In the immediate future, we'd have to look at the 60-minute, which here we are. You can very clearly see the lower highs. And I don't think that we can draw any kind of a nice trend line through any of this. It doesn't line up. No, it doesn't line up at all. I suppose you could make a case for this right here, but I think that's kind of sloppy. Anyways, I'll just put that there anyway. And what do we have? Well, lower peak on MACD histogram, assuming it's going down. RSI down, CCI down, stochastics down from a high, the 14-day RSI moving average kind of leveling out as well. This one looks primed for downward movement in the 60-minute time frame, which does align with the hypothesis for moving up in the Dow and SPX at this time. And going on to TNA before we look at the internal structure of volume. And TNA being the worst of the four. The Dow Jones Transports actually did really horrible today as well. But anyways, TNA, small caps. Downtick today. It was resolved intraday by a wide margin. And look exactly where it went down and kissed. Long-term moving average bar. It's exactly where it hit and where it retreated from. Anyway, this bubble is fixed. We definitely have support here in the form of the long-term moving average bar, which we had talked about all back here. And at this moment, it looks pretty bad. Everything is moving down, even the 14-day RSI moving average. This is not a good sign for the overall market, but we have come into support. Maybe we can get a semi-decent bounce tomorrow and ride it out with the Dow and SPX. But after that bounce, it's probably going to be unattractive. Going to the 60-minute time frame just to see if this is done. Can we expect a bounce in the immediate future? Well, very low on the MACD histogram. MACD itself sloping around, going up on the RSI, the CCI, the stochastics, and the 14-day RSI moving average is leveling out. This does look perfectly primed for a move up. Do I think that it's going to exceed the current highs? I don't believe so. I don't think that there's going to be enough time. And you can see that we have a new recent low as of today. So this pattern most likely has changed. We should be going up here, maybe the 88 area, maybe even the 89, before crapping out and retesting the new current low. That's what I'd be looking for anyway. And looking at the internal structure of volume, we'll look at it at everything. We have a new red for TNA. volume weighted MACD. You can see we're in a danger area with the on-balance volume. We can see that we have leveled out, at least for a day. On the accumulation distribution, very nice sign. We are already red on the volume price trend, and no real good indication on the dual volume flow. So 2 reds in danger of a third, which is a major, and getting closer on the other major, the accumulation distribution. So very nice progress on this. Is it ready at this moment? No, but it is making progress, and progress is good. Go down to SPY to see its internal structure of volume, and we already knew that we had a new red in the volume weighted MACD as of Friday. Maybe that switching is partially what helped it be so negative today, but nonetheless, we only have 2 reds at the moment. They're both minors. We are in a danger area for the on-balance volume, and not quite on the accumulation distribution or the dual volume flow. So we need to see this one turn red before we can really believe it, and I tend to believe that it is going to try a bounce before crossing the target line. Just a guess, but we can see every time it approaches, it tries to get away from it. Tries to get away, a little bit of whipsaw, tries to get away. So, do I believe that we'll have a third cross tomorrow? I don't believe so. Maybe I'll be wrong. And going to DIA for the Dow, so we can have the proper internal structure of volume. Here we are. And here we can see that we have 2 reds, both minors, and the 2 majors are not in trouble whatsoever. Matter of fact, they are better positioned than TNA or SPX by a decent amount. Accumulation distribution still going up, on-balance volume still going up, and dual volume flow still going up, although there's not too much room here. So that should give us an indication that the Dow will attempt at least to remain strong for the time being. And even though we don't have proper internal structure volume for the VIX, I'll look at VXX to see if this sucker is getting ready volume-wise to go away or go up. Because it certainly is at a level where something's going to happen. And we have, let's see here, we have 4 reds, 1 green. Dual volume flow not in trouble. On-balance volume maybe getting into trouble. Volume weighted MACD definitely getting into trouble. Well, for turning green this is. Maybe I should be saying that differently. Accumulation distribution not in trouble yet, and volume price trend still decently green. This one could flip, but and turn down, but for the moment I wouldn't really put too much into this sideways move. So possibility of 2 minors and 1 major in the short term, but at the moment we only have 1 minor. And that's it. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.